I just wanted to record my son's face when we are going to school. Joshua looks, I don't know whether he's angry, I don't know what to you. I just know that whenever we're going to school, Joshua looks like he's been offended by few people. Joshua, smile now, you're going to school. Say good morning. Okay, let's go. Okay. Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? Today, the skin is skinning, the sun is sunning. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to address one of the biggest elephants in a toddler parent's home. In a toddler's room. And what could that be? Of course, it is transitioning from the diapers to the big boys or a big girl's pants. Currently, I have two children. I have a toddler and I have an infant. My toddler will be 3 in November, and by the grace and mercies of God, we are potty trained, at least to a good extent. Let's say out of 5, he's 3.5, and I will share our story. I would explain everything. So I owe the most of Joshua's potty training actually to his school that he currently attends. I owe a lot to his teachers, to his tutors. They really helped us. They really helped me, because at a point I was giving up. The battle was fierce. It was strong, but we thank God for support systems, you know. And I've seen a lot of videos actually. I saw a lot of videos that talked about potty training. How do you potty train your child in, or how you potty train your child? You can potty train your child in 2 to 3 days, etc. I watched all those videos. I even watched the ones that say how to potty train a stubborn child. Now, I think the first problem I have with the ones that, especially the ones that said how to potty train a stubborn child, is the term stubborn. I don't like to use negative words on my child or on anybody's child. So I can call those children strong-willed, but more than strong-willed, I will call those children different, because every child is different. Am I saying it's not possible to be potty trained in 2 to 3 days? No, I'm sure those women are, they have a formula, they have a way. But for the majority of the people that I've spoken to, potty training doesn't occur in a day, or 2 or 3. Sometimes it doesn't occur in weeks, it doesn't occur in months. You have to just be patient and persistent, right? So let me give you guys a potty training story. My son, the first thing that we did in preparation for the potty training phase was to transition my son from normal diapers to nappy pants. Nappy pants are also produced by the diaper companies, maybe like Huggies or Pampers. So they have nappy pants that they have the feeling of wearing a panty, right? But they still soak up. They are very absorbent. They soak up the pee and they soak up the poo and things like that. So when Joshua was about a year and 6 months, we transitioned him into those kinds of diapers, the nappy pants, and that was the start. I watched a couple of videos, you know, trying to prepare, and I wanted him to start on time, because I mean it saves money. But most of those videos say wait till your child is ready, and I couldn't agree more. So I also talked with his school and his class teacher. Then I want to start potty training etc, but they said, you know what, calm down, you know what, wait, we have a time when we also start potty training here, and it will be nice if we work hand in hand. There's nothing more beautiful than a parent working hand in hand with the child's tutors to achieve the goal. I think that's been Joshua's story. Joshua started speaking well, started, you know, there were some things we were doing in the house to help as well, to help his speaking. I mean, I started talking to him on time, I started reading books to him on time. But I think being in the midst of other children that are talking and having tutors that are very good helped him to talk faster. So I knew that when it came to potty training as well, the teachers knew what they were doing. I've not done it before, and now I've learned a lot from my past mistakes, that leaning on other people's shoulders and standing on other people's experiences is like the best way to do anything. So I said, okay, whenever they're starting, I would be interested. So about 6 months ago, because it was the second term of the session that just passed, that they started the potty training. About 6 months ago, his teachers told us, oh, bring normal panties, bring normal panties, about 5 or 6, bring shorts, bring Crocs, bring towels, and bring antiseptic. Oh, Yoruba me. I'm a Yoruba girl, so once in a while I'm thinking, just slips in. Anyways, so bring antiseptic, bring Dettol, bring Savlon, bring it to school with you, and we would start the process. And you know, they sent in some videos of how they were doing it at regular intervals, maybe every 1 hour, every 30 minutes. They would line these children up in 2 rows, boys separate, girls separate, and they would lead them with a song. They'll be matching, time to go potty, something, and they would all match to go potty. At the beginning of that's the second term. The first term of doing the potty training, was second term. At the end of second term, most of his classmates were potty trained, but my son was not potty trained. And she was telling me, you have to be firm on Joshua. You have to help us, you know, because whenever Joshua would come home, I couldn't really do much. I didn't have help at that time. I think I was pregnant. Probably in one of those trimesters that were not so easy, and I was just like, I can't really do this. I can't do this on my own. It's just God that is going to save and help me and everything. So and my husband used to go to work, so but he used to bring Joshua back home. He used to do a lot. Actually, my husband is someone that is a husband of husbands, so I commend him. I take this opportunity out to say thank you for being a fabulous man. At that period, he was one that was making Joshua's breakfast, taking him to school, and he was also sorting himself out. So he already had enough on his plate, like taking him to school every day, because I had a funny pregnancy. Not too difficult, but some parts of it were difficult. So whenever Joshua would come back, the man had to rest a bit now. So the onus was on me to help Joshua be going to the toilet at regular intervals, but I couldn't just do it. The shit was too much, and I mean shit literally. Sometimes he'll come back home and he would just poo on his pants, and I'm like, what is going on here? Am I gonna be cleaning poo packy shit like this? So whenever he got back home, I would just go and I'll just carry his nappy pants and wear for him, and I'll tell him, whenever you want to pee, whenever you want to poo, tell me, we'll go to the toilet. Or I'll still tap in my regular intervals, do you want to pee? My son that is enjoying his television will just say no. So as he was progressing in school, he was just stagnant in the house, right? I hope you guys will learn something from this. I'm just sharing my story. I don't know how it will help, but I just hope it will help. But I would refer back to this time late in just a bit. So the third term started, and third term was about to end. Joshua was doing well in terms of the potty training in school, but he was not doing well at home. So I messaged the teacher one of those days that, Miss Sada, please, Joshua is not well potty trained. He's not doing well at home. He's still messing up, you know. Maybe when he has panties on, he's still peeing on himself. He still has a lot of accidents. And she was like, Joshua is okay here. He's doing good here. And I'm like, what? So the term ended, and he was still having those accidents in the house. And then I took him for summer school. And one of those days when I'd already given birth at that time, when Joshua started summer school. It wasn't too long ago. It was just this holiday. So he did summer school for about 4 weeks. And one of those days when I went to pick him up from school, you know, I think I went rather early. And then I stood by the door. I was just watching my son from a corner. And I saw my son run, holding his bum. I can't illustrate it very well. I want to poo-poo. I want to poo-poo. And I opened my mouth. I said, is this Joshua? Is this the boy that forms for us in the house, that shows us Pepe? I did like this. I will show you too. So I saw him doing all those things when they now took him to the toilet and everything. I said, so you can open, when they brought him back, that let's be going home now. Oh, your mommy is here, Joshua. They've come to pick you. I said, Joshua, so you can open that your small mouth and say you want to poo-poo. But in the house, you will not say, you'll be poo-pooing up and down. I said, I will show you. You know what your teacher said is that I should be firm on you, because that's what teacher said. Just be firm on him. He's already potty trained. Just be firm on him. I said, I will be firm on you. I will show you. So when we got back home, I think there was a weekend after that thing happened. I don't know which day of the week it was that I caught him, and I went back home. I told the father that your son can say I want to pee, I want to poo, you know. So I went back home, and on the weekend of that day, I took it seriously. Myself and my husband, we took it seriously. So he said he had always had a timer on his phone, but I set a timer on my own phone too, for regular intervals, every 30 minutes. I pumped my son with enough water that morning, and I said, this potty thing, we're gonna do it. Now we have two types of panties, and I'm going to share and explain them. We have the regular cotton panties, which we call the dry panties, and we have the thicker one, which has a single layer of some absorbent material, which I call the wet I call it the wet nappy, but it's just a thicker nappy. I just give it those names. So it's just a thicker panties, right? And I will put the links below. So we have a set of 10 of each, a set of 10 of the thicker panties that are absorbent, and a set of 10 of the cotton panties. So normally we wear the thicker panties for him in the house, because at least if he pees, it absorbs one layer of pee, you know, and he gets uncomfortable. He says, I've peed, please come and change me. And he was talking and he was saying all those kinds of things, right? But on this particular day, you know, that I had aimed and targeted him, I wore him the what do you call that? I wore him the thin and cotton panties, right? I wore that thin one for him. And I told him, today, you mustn't pee, you mustn't poo. You must tell me. He thought I was joking. So, I think the first time in the morning, he peed on himself. I mean, he had gone to the toilet because I pumped him up with water. He had gone to the toilet. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because quite a number of people are passing by right now. But yeah, he had gone to the toilet at the times that we are taking him. No matter what he was watching, I would insist. I didn't ask him, do you want to go to the toilet? I'll just take him. Let's go to the toilet. His father would take him, let's go to the toilet, every 30 minutes interval. So there are some times that he would wee, there are some times that he wouldn't wee. And there was one where we had just taken him to the toilet. Then he came back. We were taking him to the toilet. He didn't wee in the toilet. Then he came back and he peed on himself. I said, you did? Okay, so if you don't spank your children, this may make you uncomfortable. I spank. I believe in using the rod, utilizing the rod. So I spank with my hands. I call it pow pow. He knows the pow pow. So I said, I'm going to pow pow you for this thing that you did, because we just took you to the toilet. And I know, me and you, we know that you know how to talk, how to say I want to pee pee, how to say I want to poo poo. So I spanked him that morning for doing that. Following that, after that spanking, my son kept on saying, I want to pee pee, I want to pee pee. Now the next thing that he did, that I spanked him again, we know that we understand his he has a pooing system that we understand. So when he wakes up in the morning, he poos, or if he doesn't poo at that point, whenever he eats, he poos immediately afterwards. And he also poos in between afternoon and evening. So I don't know whether is it mid-evening or mid-noon, one of those, between that time. So he poos. So when we knew the time for him to poo, we took him to the toilet as well. I said, okay, poo. My son I think that is the one that we are still battling with. My son wasn't comfortable with removing his panties and then pooing in the potty. So I said, you know what, leave your panties on and poo. We would clean it. At least just let it be that you have a designated place for peeing and pooing, and he was more comfortable doing that. So that's where we still have a glitch. That's the 3.5. Till now he's not comfortable, you know, removing his panties to poo, which it happens a few times. Like it happened yesterday. Yeah, you know, he removed his panties and pooed in the potty, but we're still in that process. But when it comes to peeing and anything that has to do with pee, Joshua is completely potty trained, thanks to God, thanks to his teachers, thanks to my husband, and thanks to those who are helping us, thanks to myself as well. So even when he's asleep, I don't know how he does it. He kind of holds his pee. He doesn't pee. When we go out, because we are scared of accidents, maybe when we go out to maybe a friend's or we go out to church, we still wear him nappy pants. At night when he's asleep, we still wear him nappy pants. But you know the beautiful thing, even in church, Joshua will come and tap. Please, I want to pee. I want to use the toilet. I want to pee. He would tap his father. He will tap me. So sometimes we take him to the, it's just that I hate using, I think I'll be taking the potty out more often now. I hate using church public toilets for him. But yeah, so that is where we are right now. So let me now go into the tips for potty training your child. I hope my story made some sense, right? I'll refer back to the story here and there. I've taken a lot of time already sharing the story. So now, the first thing that I want you to have when you want to potty train your child is to have a lot of patience. Because you're going to meet a lot of hurdles and frustrations. You may not. Every child is unique, as I said at the beginning of the video, and every child is different. But for the majority of people that I've spoken to, potty training doesn't happen in a day, in 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No, it takes a while. And there are going to be accidents like the child peeing on themselves, pooing on themselves. They are young human beings that are trying to understand life, so you have to give them a lot of benefits of doubts. Don't feel like they are trying to punish you. They're trying to get used to a system. They're trying to understand themselves as well. So help them and look at the whole experience through a fresh lens as well. It would help you. So don't be angry too much. You're going to pack a lot of shit. Yeah, a lot of poo. Your house may smell. But to reduce those accidents is to just have patience, start on time, and continue, keep going at it, be consistent. Now, the second thing that I would need you to get in this journey is to get the potty, of course. The name of the game is potty training, and the potty is very important. The first potty that we had was gifted to us by one of our friends who had asked our experience in the potty training thing, and that's precious. Thank you so much. She had this beautiful toilet, like a miniature toilet, like a shrunken toilet, and it was pretty. It was very nice. She had gotten it for her daughter, so she said, you know what, my daughter is grown, fully potty trained, come and take it. So I went to her house. I went over to her house and I took that big potty-ish. My son liked it for a while. I mean, it was very relatable for him because he used to see us. Yeah, and that's another thing. Let your child, I know they say your child should not see you naked at a particular point. Your child should not see you kinikon, but it's good for your child to see you using the toilet. It helps them to understand that this is what is done. You show them, oh, I'm using it, I'm peeing, even I'm pooing. Show them you're wiping. Show them how you're flushing the toilet. Let them see a process, a routine. That's how my son also started getting more comfortable with brushing. I used to brush in front of me and I told him, I brush it. So when they see you doing it, for some reason, they take a lot of courage from seeing you doing things. They're like a role model to them. So anyways, so yeah, he would see my husband peeing. So in school, I think he used to sit to pee, but because of how he saw my husband, he started standing to pee, and now he stands to pee. So yeah, That's for a boy child. For a girl child, let us see you sitting and pee. So that's another thing you need to get. You need to get a potty. So my friend gave us that potty, and it was nice for a while. But from the research that I was doing online, I realized that one of the best potties to get was one very foldable potty that you could carry around, which is the one I'll be carrying to church now. You could carry it anywhere. It had nylons. It was just nice, and I will link it below. So when we got that potty, my son loved that potty. He still loves that potty. Wherever the potty is, if it's not where he pees, he'll say, "Where's my potty?" He really likes that potty. So we got that potty for him. We got the potty. Another thing that you need to get yourself are cleaning tools and cleaning equipment. You need to arm yourself with disinfectants and things like that, so that your house doesn't stink, because the potty training process is a it's a practical one. I don't know how else to say it. It's very, very practical. You're gonna, as I said, you're gonna pack shit. You're gonna pack shit. You're literally gonna pack shit. But yeah, so that your house doesn't stink, have everything that you need, every cleaning tool that you need to make things easier. Now, one important thing is to designate a place for a child's peeing and pooing functions from the very start. Let your child know that we go and pee in the toilet. Now, we had to change the place of our designation because of distance. Initially, the potty was in my husband's room's toilet. So whenever we wanted to take him to do the do or to pee the pee, we would carry him at that interval and take him all the way to the room. And the rooms are not exactly close to the living area, the parlor. So what we did when we noticed that he wasn't comfortable, even sometimes he goes by himself. He will go by himself. So when we see him going, we know that, oh, he wants to pee, wants to poo. He wasn't comfortable going all the way. He by himself went to the guest toilet. So we knew, the guest toilet is the place to designate as his own toilet. So we carried the potty and we transferred it to the guest toilet. So prepare your house for the function. Make sure that there is a place that is comfortable, well lit, a place that, you know, can serve the function and is close. The distance is not too far from where the child has his primary play functions. If your child has his own room, beautiful, you can have the potty in his room, you know, so that even at night he can walk to it. For those who their children are already sleeping in their rooms, our own children still sleep with us. Talk for another day. But yeah, you can do that. Now the next thing that you need to get are if you have not really started the journey, get nappy pants. First of all, transition a child from diapers to nappy pants, and then the next phase is to get actual panties. You can get the normal cotton panties, light cotton panties. I'll insert a video or insert a photo or something, and then you can also get the thicker panties, the absorbent one. You can get 10 of each or 5 of each, anyone you can afford. You can get both of these in supermarkets, on Jumia, on Amazon. And then the final thing that you need to get as a parent is, for some parents, you have to be creative. So you can get rewards or awards, whatever your son or your daughter really likes. You can stock up on it a bit, so that when they do something, at least at the beginning stage, you can reward them and they can be happy to do it again. My son because of the way that he transitioned into the peeing and pooing. He had already been potty trained in school, so we didn't really have to exactly reward him for anything. He got all the appraisal and praises in school, but at home, whenever he did it, we would say, yeah, we would encourage him. Oh, you did it. And he would be like, yeah, I pee-peed. Even till now, when he pee-pees, especially when he he's you know the way boys are, they can spray their stuff everywhere, but when he finds a way to center it and the thing goes directly into the potty, you see him shout. Even sometimes he will shout to the extent that the penis goes off. Oh my goodness, I peed in the potty, and I'll be shouting yay, yay, and there's always a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. You have to have the heart of a child. Someone told me that recently, to be a good parent and a good friend to your child. To help your child, you need to have the heart of a child. So be excited for whatever milestone they make, you know. And I remember there was one night, also be sensitive and be attentive. There was a night my son was crying at my door, because till now we still sleep in separate rooms. My husband and myself, I sleep with the little baby, the infant, and my husband sleeps with Joshua. And he had opened the door, and I went out. I said, what was wrong? He said, I want to pee, and daddy's sleeping. And you know, he's not exactly like this. He doesn't speak as refined as I do, but that was what happened. And I went to the room. I tried to wake my husband up. My husband had gone, so he must have been really tired. But I was so impressed that even in sleep, you know, he had to wake up. So yeah, that's one thing that we need to do better. Even me, I'm talking for myself now as parents. I know the places that we are not doing well. We don't wake up in the night to take him to pee as other parents do, because we still have we still rely on the nappy pants at night, right? But my son is so I don't know, he's so trained that whenever he's not too tired, he would stand up from his sleep and he would come and wake you up to take him to the toilet. With these few points of mine, I hope you guys have learned a thing or two about potty training. How do I look? How do I look after sharing this story? My freshness is coming back. Hey, Kala. I want to speak in tongues, but silly, Mariah, calm down, calm down. My freshness is coming back. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Anyways, so I hope you guys learned a thing or two. If you have any questions, I'm very, very interested in your questions. I'm happy to answer your questions. Please put them in the comments, or you guys know now, those of you who DM me personally, you can always DM me. I'm available for you. I have work in Jesus' name. God bless you. See you next week. Is going to be a wonderful time. We're going to be exploring whether to walk outside the home or to stay at home, which is the best option. And you guys are going to be deciding that after you see what we have prepared for you. Have a lovely time, and I will see you next week. Much love.